Okay, I wanted to share with you my side beds. I have two, but they're relatively small. My husband likes to have grass in the middle, which if it were me, this would be all garden and just maybe a little pathway, but this is also my husband's house. So I have to respect his wishes, but this is ice, what's it called? Ice plant. But it's really just for pollinators and pretty. I liked it. And then the bugleweed is a good ground cover, which I will eventually let run all the way out here. I don't know if it takes up too much root room, so I'm going to do more research about that. I transplanted this guy. He was over there. He wasn't getting enough sun. It's a coneflower, which I'm going to pick these off for now so it can work on its leaves, because I want pretty flowers, but if it's not established, it might die. So work on your leaves. So I might put this in a little tincture or dry them out. But every part of the coneflower or the echinacea plant is, you can put it into a tincture. So it's good to like harvest each part as it comes. The roots has the most in it. So, but that again, like I said in my last video, you harvest the roots when it's fall time, because all the energy is going down into the roots during the fall. This is a mum. Again, that's going to be pollinators for the fall. So we're going to have some pollinators. These guys are forget-me-nots. They've already bloomed and they are going to seed. I'm just going to let it seed. I'll probably drop some more seeds down in there. So they'll flush out again this year. And then this is mint. Most people say don't plant mint with other things. I don't listen very well. So I might be regretting my decisions at some point. But I do thin it out if it starts getting too bulky. Okay. Well, hello. Hi, Katerina. Did you say hi to Mommy? Okay, so next we have peas, and these are growing back there. I was going to trellis it on there. They didn't like that very much, so they actually I put this up for the cucumbers and they just took over. But these will die out when it starts getting really hot, and that's when the cucumbers will be in full bloom. And so these will die back, these will grow up, and I'm going to trellis it all along there for the cucumbers. Now, this is a gamble. I'm going to try it. I don't know if this is going to work back here. This is tomatoes. These are Umberto tomatoes, which if you guys are bad at growing tomatoes, or you like these tomatoes, I love them. Okay, sorry. I didn't know what this one was. It's a bean, I think. It's a indeterminate, which means that it doesn't stop growing. Like, it's not like gonna grow 4 feet and stop. Like, it will grow and grow and grow and grow. So we might not have enough room right here. But I can start trellising it over there, which we'll talk about more of that later. Anyways, so the reason why I like them is because they do get really big. Sorry, my hands, I was grinding turmeric, so they look nasty, but they are indeterminates, and you see how thin they are? That actually like makes it so you don't have to stake them as much, because they're so light. Now, once they get fruit on them, you definitely will. But at the beginning stages, they kind of flop over a little bit, but I'll kind of let them until it's time to stake them. Or, well, I will be putting them, what am I going to do? I'm still trying to decide, but I will probably stake them. I've got several in there. I'll probably stake them. I don't know. We'll see, because they'll get so tall that the stakes won't even help. So, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. If you have any tips for me, let me know. Okay, this is Citronella, which we have a lot of mosquitoes, which this year it really hasn't been as bad. Knock on wood. I'm knocking because it hasn't been like hot every night, so it still could be getting bad. But we have beautyberry and citronella. These are both good for mosquitoes. I also have, if you watch my video, my previous video, if not, you can check back and look at that. But I have a really big beautyberry bush in the backyard. Once the berries fruit, then you can harvest those and put them in a oil for next year for, well, actually, within a few weeks, you can use it as a mosquito spray. So it's a natural way to keep mosquitoes away, which in West Virginia, you're always looking for something like that. And probably other places too. So here, this is my 3-tier, sweet pea mess, but, they were growing so tall that they kept flopping over, which they're probably about to do that again here. So I'll try to weave that back there, so that it's got support and it doesn't break off and die again. Do you see some of these are getting too hot? They're overwatered. I'm not sure why, but in the heat, they don't live very long. So I'll just pull them out as they start, or cut them back and pull them out as they start going, dying. But my son loves sweet peas, so as many as I can plant, he could probably eat. So I love planting these. This year, I planted a lot more than last year, and I'd say I could still plant more and he'd still eat them. Back here, that's hiding, is parsley. And the reason why I have parsley hidden is because it hates the heat. So it's going to seed, which is fine. I would like some parsley seeds, but it's hidden back there in kind of a little microclimate. It's in a pot, just because that's the only way I've got it to grow really well. And so if it works, then I keep it. It's got some really pretty flowers. But yeah, that's where that's at. Now, if anyone knows what that is, they're probably laughing. Those are carrots. So, I actually planted them here because I didn't have room in the cold frame for anything at the time. And so I'm going to dig them up and plant them around my tomatoes because carrots love tomatoes. In this soil here, this was a driveway, so it doesn't go very deep. Even in the front yard, it had rocks, pretty, like about 6 inches down, and in the backyard it's basically clay. So I got I'm gonna have to look at the name of them, but I got some carrots from M.I. Gardeners that are short. I want to say it's like I don't remember. It starts with a P. But I put them in the fall last year, and I harvested them this spring in the front yard. They were so sweet, so good, and so I'm hoping that they will transplant well. I don't know, because I've heard there are issues with transplanting carrots. I'm going to try it because that's what I do. I try things even if I hear they're not the best, and then I'll let you guys know how they did for me, and I'll know for next time. So, okay. So this, like I said, is going to die out when it starts getting hot. So I have these guys in the back that are going to take its place. So these are the black beans and the white northern beans. And so I think they're actually, no, they're not setting fruit. They're setting a little bit of flowers, which they do have a pretty flower. And actually, let me tell you where I got these seeds from. I went to Aldi and I got a bag of black beans and a bag of white northern beans dried. And I just stuck them in the ground. and they grew, and they are happy and healthy, and they're good nitrogen fixers, so you can put them by your tomato plants and your cucumbers, and it helps put nitrogen back into the soil if you need it. Now, if you have too much nitrogen, so if you're seeing a lot of aphids, then you probably don't want as many nitrogen fixers. You probably have enough. Okay, so this is my cut and come again lettuce, and cabbage and spinach. So really, I just, as I need it, I cut it up and I put it into a salad, and then I'll come back. And now, I always leave at least one small leaf on each plant when I do it. I'd like to have two, but when it's the early stages, I'll just leave one because I needed all the lettuce I could get. But as it gets bigger, I'll leave leaves. I'll leave multiple leaves on the plant. Now these will not probably go to a head. Like, this is romaine lettuce. It's not going to get that tall stalk, but that's okay with me because I have so much. I don't need a whole thing of romaine. I could make a salad out of that. No problem. Now, if I had a big family, this would definitely not even be close to enough. I'd probably plant this whole space with lettuce, which next year I might plant more because I had to buy some lettuce this year at the store. I have a tomato here. I'd like to tell you the variety, but I didn't label them very well. I always label them really well when I'm planting. This one I did not plant, but when I'm sowing the seeds, but not planting them into the ground as well. So, but this one I did not plant. This one my uncle planted, and so we're gonna see what it is. It's kind of like a fun game. So you're probably wondering what's going on back here. This is a pumpkin that I dropped it over by the cold frame over there. And I dropped it by the cold frame, and then I let it just like rot there all winter. And in the summer, sorry, I'm eating a sweet pea. And in the summer, or the spring, they just popped up. And it came up with so many plants. I thinned it. I gave some to the neighbors. I gave some to my friends, and my husband ran over one with the lawnmower. Oh man, I just saw this one. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh, look how big he is. Oh. You gotta get these before they get too big. They just don't. They get too woody. But anyways, my son will love those. So yeah, it's doing okay. It's not getting a whole lot of sun. So it's budding, but it's not actually producing any fruit yet. So I'm concerned about that. I might add some flowers over here because there are flowers for the bees, but not that many. Okay, sorry, my cat's got in a fight. I don't know where I was. Okay, so the pumpkin, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm still trying to figure that out. So if you have any tips about pumpkins, let me know. Okay, so along here, this is hyssop. So I have made it into, what's it called? An oxymel. I've made some of these into an oxymel. It actually helps with cough, which, I mean, do your own research, look it up, make sure you're not allergic to it, all that stuff. But I made it into an oxymel, and I'm going to harvest more as it flowers, and make more, especially with what's going on in the world. I want to make sure that we have some cough medicine that isn't over the counter if we can. So you're probably wondering why I put so many cabbage in one place, because you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then some kale. Again, I'm using that as cut and come again. They probably will not produce heads. This is they need too much root room for this pot, but again, I like them small. I don't need a head. Honestly, when I let it go to head, either the slugs get it or some type of pest pressure happens. And that frustrates me waiting all season. If I had a huge garden with a lot of area, then I wouldn't care if some of them got eaten by bugs, but I don't. So I'm using the space as I have. These are Pollinator Zinnias. They'll get huge and tall. And then I just have something pretty to spill over the side. This actually you can eat. This is Rumex. R-U-M-E-X. Rumex. And I add that to my salads. It's pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like a Swiss chard type meal. So it's pretty good. I don't add too much because it is, it kind of tastes like a beety flavor. And this smells like skunk. So if you do not like that smell and you would not want it in your garden, don't plant this one. It does smell like a skunk. So that's all I have for this garden on this side. It's not very big, but it's, it's growing. It's growing a lot of good things. So this is the side on this side. So come back and we can talk about what's going on the other side.